I think travel has been the biggest, one of the most important benefits of having a career as a violinist. As an 18-year-old freshman in college, I traveled, spent 1 month in then the USSR, because things have changed, but we were a month in the Soviet Union, a month in the Middle East, Syria, Lebanon, Cyprus, Turkey. In Egypt, I went up in the pyramids, rode a camel. In Lebanon, walked the streets of Beirut, where unfortunately it's in the news all the time because of the fighting. Lebanon is where I learned to eat yogurt for the first time. I'm a fan of that. It's a wonderful food, but I was kind of coaxed into trying it by some of my older students in the orchestra that took me under their wing when I was with them. We started the tour out, again, as an 18-year-old. The first time I'd gone out of the country was when we arrived in Lisbon, Portugal. And then we went to Spain and France, Germany, Sweden, just the travel, the experiences with other cultures, foods, clothing, being able to communicate with other people, seeing the sameness, seeing the ways in which we're so similar. This is, I think, what would excite the young people. And then after I got out of college, I spent a year in Italy. I won a scholarship given by the government called a Fulbright, which was based on my playing, the grades that I had, and then writing a one-page paper of illustrating or trying to convince the committee of why I had to go to Italy. This is the country that I chose. Why it was important for me to go to Italy to study the violin further. And I was very fortunate to have won that, and I was a year over there. And again, the travel, I chose to go by ship rather than plane. 7 days on a phenomenal luxury liner called the Michelangelo, after the great painter. It had swimming pools on every deck, gourmet dining 3 times a day. I had a cabin all to myself. I practiced. I played a recital on board ship during a thunderstorm. The people who attended, as the piano started rolling, one fellow jumped up from his seat in the audience and stood bracing the instrument. I mean, the ship was rolling back and forth. My music stand started sliding down. Another person grabbed it and held it. I didn't miss a beat. We played, and those types of things were memorable. The travel, the way that you can connect with other cultures is just, music is a way of transcending all of the imagined differences between peoples. And this has been part of my excitement, and I think that it would be theirs.
Do you have a favorite spot in the world that you've been, that you enjoy most of all?
The Latin blood in me, and I say that only half jokingly. I mean, I speak Italian. I learned it prior to going over there, but I have an affinity for the Latin peoples and the Mediterranean people. The Greek. We went to Greece, both with the student orchestra and then the St. Louis Symphony. Spent a week there back in 1978 or 9, playing for the Athens Festival. There's a warmth among those people that is very, very special. And I'd like to just mention that when, as an 18-year-old, I was in Egypt and Lebanon, I had several people. I was the only black member of the orchestra. And several people in our hotels, one time while eating breakfast, a waiter came over and talked to me. I was with a group of my friends, but he asked if he could speak to me separately. And he said that he just wanted me to know how much his people, the Egyptian people, felt an affinity for the American blacks and our struggle to gain equality and for just he said that there was a bond that he and all of the Egyptians felt for my people, and he wanted me to know that. And in Lebanon, some young people, students who sort of showed me around in sightseeing, told me basically the same thing, that the image of the ugly American didn't exist as far as they were concerned regarding black people who had traveled abroad. They sensed a oneness, and this was very important to me. This was it hit home in a very positive way.